Hi, Bon, everybody. Thank you for joining. Uh, we'll wait 2 minutes for the few more participants to connect and then we'll start. So please bear with us. Thank you. Hi, Bowen. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world. And thank you for joining our session on responsible whale and dolphin watching with our resident naturalist, Anoma Alagyavadu. Anoma is Jetwing's cetacean expert and has committed his life to the study and preservation of nature. His interest in nature goes back to his childhood growing up in Kotawa in Gaul. The lush forest surroundings close to his home provided him much entertainment, and many hours were spent absorbing the wonders around him. This innate appreciation grew into a passion and on to become his career choice and vocation in life. Upon leaving school, Anoma began his career at the Gaul Maritime Museum under the tutelage of its curator, Mr. Dharmashri Kadambi, a keen representative of the Wildlife Conservation Society. He was soon responsible for the discovery of new species of endemic lizards, freshwater fishes, frogs, and freshwater crabs. These projects continued to become the subject of numerous research papers, which Anoma compiled as part of his wildlife conservation and management program at the Open University and biodiversity management diploma at the University of Colombo. Anoma joined Jetwing in 2014 and plays a vital role today as one of our key experts in marine wildlife off the southern coast. As the resident naturalist at Jetwing Lighthouse, Anoma enjoys the opportunity to share his passion, leading interactive whale watching tours during the season. He is also involved in planning new educational programs and conducting workshops, as well as attending industry-related conferences. Dedicated and enthusiastic, Anoma is currently applying innovative conservation methods to preserve and improve the propagation of southern region marine life. He has organized multiple research trips, adding rare insights to the country's wild habitat. His paper on the seasonal distribution, movements, and taxonomic status of blue whales in the northern Indian Ocean was one of the first in understanding the resident population of Sri Lanka's blue whales. As a licensed Ceylon tourist board guide and lecturer, Anoma is an active member of the Blue Whale Conservation Group at Marissa. He's keen on promoting conservation through tourism, increasing local revenue via responsible whale and dolphin watching. He has also set up Sri Lanka's first whale watching information center at Jetwing Lighthouse. So with more than 1,000 trips under his belt, Anoma is the perfect person to lead this session. During this session, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom, and we will try and answer them at the end of the session. So with that, over to you, Anoma. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the beautiful introduction. Hi, everyone. So, all behind this introduction, these are the people and organizations behind me. Come up so far to share my knowledge with you. Thank you, all the people and organizations. And so, this is actually, these are the common species we can find around our waters. Key species are blue whale, sperm whale, orca, in a dolphin, right? So these are the few key species. They have more species in our waters. So let's say more about it. So let's see. These all the whales and dolphins belong to marine mammals. So generally called. So far in the world, there are about 129 species found. So every day, the researchers are going on. Some species adding, some species names are changing. A lot of research is happening. So these are all the marine mammals. Evolutionally, this is showing what is the evolutionary relationship of marine mammals. So especially whales and dolphins belongs to cetaceans. So this is the cetacean classification, scientific classification of cetaceans. So all there are two types of cetaceans: baleen whales and tooth whales. Baleen whales are like, for example, blue whale, tooth whale, sperm whale. I can give you an example. So this is the cetacean classification. There are some arguments with this also, and the number of species you can see. So it came up to about 91 species. So all the whales and dolphins are living in the water, marine environment. So they are almost like more close to fish, the shape and streamlined body. So main differences are whales and dolphins, they are warm-blooded, fish cold-blooded, and the mammals, whales and dolphins, they have lungs, so they need to come to the surface for breathing. But fish, they can breathe in the water through their gills. And all the whales and dolphins give their birth to live young ones, but fish, most of the fish, they. And another special character, so the whales and dolphins, they move their tails up and down. That's especially because they need to come up to the surface. So moving, eventually they have changed their body structure and everything to come easily. Because of this, they can come up easily to the surface for breathing. But fish, they don't need. They move their tail up side by side. So these are some common characters they have. So vertebrates, they have skeleton. The mammals, warm-blooded, there are some hair or fur, like polar bear. Breathe with lungs, have live birth. Fish, cold-blooded, scaly, they have scaly skin. Hatch from eggs, with gills. So some of the marine mammals living entirely in the water, also, on and off, they go to water and come back. So the main key species is the blue whale. So that's the biggest animal ever lived on Earth. So they grow about 30 meters. So they are newborn, grow about 7 meters long. They live about 80, 90 years. They feed on very tiny plankton, especially called krills, just about few centimeters, 1 to 5 centimeters. They need every day in millions. Huge body, they need a lot of energy. They always on the go for food, always traveling. So this is a small comparison with the size and the length, and the weight with the human. So the biggest one is the blue whale, 30 meters long. So this is and also the biggest fish in the world is the whale shark. That one also is living around our water. It grow about 12 meters compared with the body length of blue whales, like blue whales 2 times of whale shark. So from long time ago, we knew actually that there's some research papers are there, and even in Ptolemy's map, the whales were mentioned. And even the Norwegian whalers and whale hunters, they came around in our waters for whaling. There are whaling ship reports, how many number of whales they have killed and how many oil barrels they have made for a day. So 16th, 17th centuries, most of the whalers were trying to set up a whaling station in Gaul and Mirissa between these areas, because they can easily reach the whale from there. But with the people's involvement, luckily it stopped. So, but we knew they are, but still we have a huge data gap. We really don't know what is happening around our water. We know only very little. So before 2019, these are the species were recorded species on the list, about 26, and with one adding another one like dugong, sea cow, totally 27. We thought we have only 27 species before 2018-19. So after recent studies and clarifications, 2019, the biodiversity profile of Sri Lanka finalized and printed and released. So now we have 29 species. So there's some new name changes are there, and some new species were added, new reports were added. So we have some baleen whales, like blue whales, humpback whales, and also we have some different type of dolphins. We have 4 2 types of sperm whales, and beak whales, very rare to see, and dugong, sea cow, I was mentioned last time. And 2 years ago, suddenly we got another species, southern elephant snake. It's an unexpected sighting. We don't know how it came. It's living southern polar waters, but we have a record. So this is around Sri Lanka. You can see the continental shelf. That is the secret actually. So, and we have more than 100 rivers bringing a lot of nutrition to the sea. So with the upwelling, so along the continental shelf, a lot of things are happening. So we have enough sunlight. A lot of planktons are blooming. With the plankton, phytoplankton, zooplankton, and with the plankton, sort of krill blooming. So these all the whales come after this, and especially you can see here, this is the southern tip of Sri Lanka. The continental shelf is so close to the land, and we have whale watching triangle, Mirissa, Kalpitier, and Trinco. So all the places the shelf is so close to the land, and actually, if you need to see them, we need to go along the continental shelf. That's the best depth we can search them. So this is the closer look of the southern part of Sri Lanka, from the head, most southern tip of Sri Lanka. It is very famous in the world for whale watching. And here you can see this is the 100 meters depth counter. This is 1000 meters and 2000 meters. So the shelf is so close to the land from here, and there are underground canyons. That's very special because that's where all the we believe the blue whales are there having their babies. So every year in March and April we can see newborns, 1 or 2 newborns we can see, but we don't know exactly which place they are born. But we can see very newborns. They were nursing there and feeding, and that's the time the killer whales are hunting. So we can see some killer whale spots are regularly visiting after the whale babies. And another thing is here, we can see the shipping line. First shipping line, very critical. The first shipping line, second one, third one, fourth, and go line. So every year, we are getting 1 or 2 blue whale, dead blue whales on the shore because of the ship strike. So very critical. And all the whale watching boats are starting from here. They go out. So within half an hour or 45 minutes, you can reach the continental shelf. Easily we can spot it. And also this is from the head. When you go up to the head, even with the binoculars or even with the eye, naked eye, you can see the spout, water spout. The water spout is they are exhaled. So when they come to the surface, before they inhale, they exhale. That's the water spout we see. That's the when you go out for whale watching, we need to spot for water spout. All the boats are looking for that, and they go for previously locations, and also they are getting information from the fishermen. So these are these black color spots are some records. You can see they are on the shipping line. And this is from the head, and this is Valigama Bay and Tourism Harbor. Then this is a GPS track. Actually, you can see all overlapping very clearly with the map. All the this is actually one boat about 2 months that they have go. That's the area. And this is evidence for their on the shipping line. This is actually swarm whale. So very disturbing for them because the whales are using sonar. Ships that we get that technology from the whales, and we are using more powerful sonar than the whales. So their signals are distracting. So sometimes they don't know where they are ships, and they get strike. So if we need to do a responsible whale watching and conservation, we need to study about it. We need to know how many of them there are and how their behavior and where they live, their diving patterns and migration, everything we need to study. So we are using GPS locations and we can listen to them using hydrophone because they have very powerful communication, but for our ears we cannot hear. But using hydrophone and special software, we can develop and we can listen to them. And also where the coastal water and ocean water meet, that points are very special. That's where the lot of nutrition mixing and a lot of plankton are there, and these are places very good for even seabirds. And also we need to look for the whales and dolphins, their behaviors. This is a spinner dolphin. So they just jump up from the water and rotating about 8 times and just fall down. And also we need to look for their height, weather changes. So this and also their diving patterns and their blow shape and And this is we call whale footprint. So when they surface for breathing, couple of minutes or few seconds after that, when they go down, they leave this footprint on the water. So some species actually they don't bring their body up, so they're not visible on the surface. They just sometimes leave the footprint. These are in few seconds, these are disappearing with the water movement. And this is some past record and comparison, sighting rate. You go out, this much of chances are there. If you go out 100 times, this much of chances are there to see. But actually, last 2 years we don't have much data because of the pandemic and everything. Before that, about three years ago, it's almost like 100% guaranteed to see a blue whale in a dolphin or bright whale. So you can give you 100% that much of so these are other species where you can see that some of the species very rare, means we cannot see them. They're very shy, not socialized, and some of them are very rare. We can only 1 or 2 times a year, especially humpback, because they just passing the area. They don't stop for feeding. They just travel. And also, when we are going to identify them, we need to look at their body shape and color, their fin. This is the dorsal fin. Comparing with the body length, very short. And this is the eye, mouth, the nose. So I have a model. I don't know. So this is a blue whale. So they have this is nose, 2 nostrils there. Comparing with the body length, very short, very small dorsal fin. And this is a killer whale model. You can see the very long dorsal color pattern there. So these are the features we are looking for identification. And color patterns, this is the blue whale. We can the model color patterns. And also their behavior. So there's here you can see tiny dorsal fin. That's the baby blue. So this split of Gonza was the first valuation board operating in the region. You can imagine how can compare the size of the whale. And also this is a small fishing boat, and they are so huge, 30 meters long. This is only the tail. So if I go back, this is the area you saw. That's when they're coming down. That much of huge. And also we are looking for the species identification. We are looking for the water spout shape, angle. So this is almost 9 degrees angle, but sperm whale is blue whale, about 45 degrees. So this is, but with the weather and if there's a wind, this water spout is not visible actually. It just disappears. So sometimes very difficult when there's a windy day when you go out. And also we need to have an idea about their behavior because the babies around, so always mother and calf together. The blue whales are solitary animals. They are living alone. But only the mating season, and when there are babies, newborns, we can see 2 or 3 together. Also, when they're feeding, if they have enough food around the same area, we can see a couple of them, sometimes 10, 15 together. Otherwise, they are living alone. But the sperm whales, the males are living alone, but the small, like elephants, the females and young males and babies traveling like a group, like pod, sometimes 200, 300 pods we can see. So, and there's another thing, there are 2 theories some scientists believe the blue whales are living native around Sri Lanka. So there's another theory that they're traveling, they're migrating between Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, like a U-shaped migration. So it's still not confirmed. A lot of research is happening. But I believe they are traveling between Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal because they need growth food. They are always on the go for food. So this is a blue whale underwater. Again, this is the nostril. They have two nostrils, like us, but the sperm whale got only one, so on the left side. And also here you can see this is big skinny. I think not enough food. So on the body you can see small fish. They call remora. They are not parasites. They are cleaning the whale. So these are the ones. But 1 foot long. They stick to the skin and clean the body and eating the items on the body, on the skin. You can see a lot of things in this whale, you can see, but sometimes more than 100, not more than. And also, we can look at the dive patterns and how they move their tail. So this is blue whale diving. I told you that the best depth is 1,000 meters depth, but the blue whales not diving deep that much of depth. The blue whales just go about 200-300 meters, but the sperm whales can go about 1,000 meters. 2,000. And the blue whales stay underwater about 10 minutes, and sperm whale can stay about 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So when you go out to see them, and then you're studying, then you need to keep the count. So when you see they are going down, you can start your stop. When they're feeding, we can see exactly the same time they're coming back. So if one whale, blue whale, went down for 10 minutes, next time also there's 99% chance it will come back in 10 minutes. But if they're traveling, actually, if we don't have enough food there, if they're traveling, we can see only just one because they can travel about 30 miles per hour. So there's a remora on the tail. So this is the blue whale diving, not very deep, about 200-300 meters. Down. And this is sperm whale. So they are blowing about 45 degrees angle, not straight like blue whale. And their nose, this is dorsal fin. So there are two animals here. One is on one, other one is on the other side. So very compared with the body length, it's large. So this is dive sequence. They blow, and they have one nostril on the left side of the body, the ground. And this is straight down. This is about 90 degrees, and they go straight down for 2,000 meters deep. They feed on squid. So you can see the nostril. So this is the comparison with the body shape. Smooth body, blue whale. This is dorsal fin. This is sperm whale dorsal fin. The head is on this side. This animal. And on the sperm whale, this area, like knuckle, you can see like knuckles, like wrinkles. But the blue whale very smooth, like a straight line. And this is the comparison with the dorsal fin. The size compared with the body length, very short on blue whales, but sperm whales very large, round shape. Blue whales like pointed. And this is sometimes you can see 200-300 large pods of sperm whales are traveling. And this is the tail, dorsal fin. Fluke, we call fluke. This is the tail actually. So more wide tail blue whale boat, but very narrow one sperm whale, and not point. This is round shape, and the blue whale one is pointed. And this picture is very very special. So it's like individually animal to animal, totally different. So it's like our fingerprint. These are two animals. So you can see there are marks, patches, broken parts, sometimes shark bites or killer whale bites. Fish there. Here I think there's a fishing net cut. So those are we can use for individual identification. So again, this is blue whale and the sperm whale. This is dive sequence sperm whale. So we take down 4,000, 2,000 meters. And this is another species we can see, bright whale, also called Brugger's whale. So they never raise their tail like blue whales and sperm whales. Sometimes very difficult to spot them and see them. So we can see the small blow, just only one puff, just come up with surface, and one puff they leave the footprint and go down. But they don't never show their tail. This is dorsal. It's like a compared with the body length, it's very large, like a triangle shape and like a hook. And this is another bright whale. Also, a few types of dolphins are there. This is spinner dolphin. So they have only one nose. Sometimes you can see 1,000, 2,000 individuals in one pot. Some days you see small pots like 4, 5 small numbers, but some days you can huge gathering. They feed on small fish, especially after gelatin tuna. And they are all the dolphins. They have different behaviors. The spinner dolphins jump up and spin about 8 times and fall down. Some just come up and fall on the water. So this is the spinner dolphins underwater. This is another species, bottlenose dolphin. They are not like very. They don't come close to the boat very often. Not social. So they have very not long beak like spinner dolphins. The spinner dolphins, they are very pointed and long beak mouth, but bottlenose dolphins have short one. So this is another type of whale, short fin pilot whale. So they also looking at the fin, we can identify large dorsal fin, curve. They also we can see like a small pod, sometimes 20, 30 or 50. And they are also very shy. You need to keep your distance, otherwise they will dive down and reach only one time. If you keep your distance, you can see them very often. And this is another type of dolphin, especially for resource dolphin. Very large dorsal fin and nose not pointed, beak like the dolphin, round shape, a lot of white scars on the body. There's a special character to identify. You can see the mouth, the face, brownish. And this is another species, false killer whale. So they have fin shape and the face shape. This is for identification. And this is another species, dolphin, because striped dolphin. There are lines on the body, like brush marks. They are not, these ones are not common actually, not very often you can see. Also, there are some other species you can encounter, like manta ray. Some tropic birds, red-billed tropic birds, some other shearwaters, shorn petrels. Seasonally, you can say, especially close to monsoon, like end of March and beginning of April is the best time to see the seabirds. And sometimes butterflies come on land view. And turtles, they go deeper areas for breeding. The mating, 3 of them. And this is whale shark, the biggest fish in the world. They also feed on plankton like whales, krill, and very rarely you can see sea snakes. And jellyfish also someday. And if you're going on whale watching tour, you need to select the best, good operators or boat where they have keep their distance. You need to go very slow. So the best way to go in a slow, more like it, parallel with the wave and leave from their path. So it's not good to go behind, and it's not good to cross their path. The whale is traveling like this slowly. These movements are not. You have to make sure your boat go correctly. This is the best way. And if there are there's another boat on this side, so it's not good to go another boat on from the both sides. Then they'll get scared and try to avoid the boat and go away from the area. So all I need to line up behind where they can see, because when these whale is feeding, so every time if they go for 10 minutes dive, you can see the next 10 minutes in 10 minutes again. So you have more chances to see them very often. So if you be your boat is operating properly. So you need to keep a distance. These are internationally recognized and practiced. Some countries really practicing these distances. If the best distance is, especially for blue whales, 100 meters. It's not good to go beyond 100 meters, but there are some times when you go slow, suddenly they just come next to you boat. And also you need to select good operators, or before they start, they explain about the behavior, habitats and everything. But, yes. After 2006, the Minister Harbour was like this, very quiet. Only one boat was operating. So now actually there are about, this was the first boat. Slowly, one by one, see, we ended up in 70 boats. So there are some regulations there. Sometimes some boats are not behaving properly. So we need to select the best one. And every the best time of the year is between October and April. Because that's the day it is more calm, because end of April the monsoon starting, then it's difficult to go out. But they are there, but the monsoon time is the best time to see them. Spot them, but for visitors and guests, not when the sea conditions is really bad, they will be really uncomfortable. The best time is down south, October to April. From Gold, we are starting actually 5:30 in the morning. It's a 45-minute drive up to the harbor. So last couple of years, slowly the whole industry was building very fast, and some days there are more than 1,000 people who are out on board. So that much of demand was there. And that was really bad for the whales. If there when there are about 60, 70 boats out there, if there's one whale, all are trying to chase the same whale actually. So these boats are going correct way. We call this is a whale. This whale is traveling this way. All are going slowly. It's good. And also there are some surprises there. Suddenly when you slowly go, just come just near to you. Then you can see the footprint here. Because they are in the underwater, we don't know where they are coming up. But suddenly it came. And it's here. The unexpected. Then we go slow because. And also sometimes when you're passing, on the behind there's another one can come up. So you need to keep eye on all the time along the horizon and around you. A lot of photographers came, and with the increasing boat and the ships, the railroad was very uncomfortable. And this is a good example. So this is the dorsal fin, head is on this side, tail this side. So here you can see this is a propeller from a boat. Or boat. I don't think it's a boat, it's a ship. The whole area is gone. So we have seen only one time this one. After that, we have seen no records about it. We don't know what has happened to it. Whether it's still living or not. So this is another one. This is also this whole area is gone. But it was alive. Can manage diving, but a bit slow. The wound is okay. This one also we have seen only one time. After that, no any sign about it. Not even stranding. So sometimes still living there. We don't know. So like I said earlier, every year we are getting 1 or 2 viewers on the beach because of the ship strike. There were a lot of discussions happened with the fishing vessels, the shipping companies, but they were not happy to move the shipping line bit basically bit cost for them. But still the shipping line is there. Waves are there, still the shipping is staying. But anyway, they are living in the same area. So this is another problem. Lot of fishing gear entanglement. This is a fishing net. So this is around this tail, it's a cut actually, the wound. From the underwater photograph, we cannot do anything about it. It was going with this like this. Is unfortunately, we don't know. Sometimes this from here is broken, so then the whale cannot dive, swim much. So we were doing some cleaning programs in the harbor from the beginning. Because of the fishing gears and the fishing boats, they were just discharging their everything on the beach and on the harbor and the water. So we got a lot of people involved on this and the hotel and the government like Sri Lanka Navy, Army, and whale watching boat operators. This Navy actually supporting for the polythene and garbage. So it needs to do very often. Still we are doing time to time. And also some awareness program with the support of Blueprint with the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society in London. They came here and done awareness program for whale watching boat operators, workshop, practical training and all. And also we have started at Lighthouse Hotel in Seoul Information Center, where I'm sitting now. Actually, we're educating students, guests who are coming here and around gold, and anyone can come here and learn something about the whales and marine life. And now we have, last year we have started junior marine biology program. So a lot of interested kids are using this place and coming studying. Come to my investor presentation. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer you.
Thank you, Anoma. That was really interesting to learn about these huge, magnificent animals that we don't really see or think about too much, but it's great to know that they're out there. We've got quite a few questions, so we'll try and answer as many as possible. We start with the first one. Why do whales have dorsal fins?
Dorsal fin, they really don't need a big dorsal fin, like blue whale, because when the whales, there was one long time ago, there was one deer like fox like animal went into water and lived there and started hunting. Evolutionary, its legs, front leg and back leg disappeared and became like fins. So they're in the water. So in the water, you can use for swimming. The adaptation started. So over the years, it became like fin. But when it depends, when they are not using much the dorsal fin or any other thing, it disappears. So like I said, the killer whales are fast hunters. They're hunting. They need more movable. They need, but they go for hunting. But they are very fast swimmers. But sperm whales, sorry, the blue whales, they are not chasing their prey. They just go, and if there's any plankton patch or krill patch, they go there and open their mouth and take everything into the mouth and filter it. Then, but so they don't need big dorsal fin. I hope I answered.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
People
And what next?
actually with their habitat, their feeding and breeding behavior or change, and the things that the fish, they don't have bones in the fin. But if you look at the X-ray, there are fins inside bones like our structures in there. So they are mammals like us. So the inside structures are there. The outside changes. A lot of changes are there.
That's quite interesting that some animal went back into the ocean and then sort of evolved into these whales. I know the next question I have is these toothed whales, like the sperm whale. Is there any records of them eating humans?
No, but I have seen they attacking because when they are with the bait, they attack some boats and they are very aggressive, especially like bullets. The big male sperm can be aggressive, and when there's a baby with the mother, they got living like a pod. They're protecting like elephants do. So they can be aggressive, but I don't know any reports about eating. But I know there are some instances, the killer whales. There are some killer whales in aquariums. There are few incidents. The trainer has killed one or two times. The trainer it pulled into the water and keeps until it's dead. There are few incidents.
Okay.
Not biting.
That's good to know. So they're quite safe out there then. The next question is, how do we keep track of the whales? I think you answered that a little bit in terms of their tail flukes, but is there any other way that we keep track of the whales out there?
I think actually the photo identification is good. Like I said, their tail is like a fingerprint. But really, if you track them, you need to have a GPS tracker on the body. You can fix a GPS tracker without harming the animal. There are two types of trackers. One is with a sucker, few months it stay on the skin, and there's another one like a small pin one. You stick to the skin and it stay about 6 months or 1 year. So from that's the only thing you can track them. So when they're surface, when they come to surface, all the signals are releasing, then we can really get the signals to the GPS and to the satellite. And also you can listen to them because their sound is traveling very far, 100 to 200 miles. So you can listen to them, record through the hydrophone, you can record their voice.
Okay. Another question is, do you have a naturalist on board on every excursion?
Now actually, in the boat, on board there's one guy trained actually is far better than earlier. Earlier there's only the crew actually. And another thing is most of them, almost 99% of them belongs to fishing family. So they don't know how to go out, but only it was lacking was their knowledge about the animals. But later they understood they need to get knowledge, and we were also doing a lot of training programs. They were very interested, and now they're always trying to train someone, and they have good knowledge of now.
So that's great. So they come from the local communities as well. So that's quite good. Are there any national whale watching guidelines or regulations?
There are everything is there, but implementing there are some problems like everywhere. So they are actually. It will take some time because this is new for us actually. So it will a little bit more time than I thought. It will take time to set up everything.
Okay. The question is it illegal to touch a whale?
No, actually, but better not to. So,
And
because
a follow-up to that.
they are huge animals, and when they are moving, they are swimming. There's a huge force in the water, so you get hurt. Actually.
Follow-up to that is are you allowed to dive or swim with the whales?
Last about 5-6 years ago, a lot of diving and snorkeling and underwater photographies were happening there to getting permission from different organizations like Defense Ministry and Wildlife Department. But now, all when you are doing that, you need to chase the animal. Actually, really, you need to get a underwater photograph, so you need to chase it because every time you need to chase it, then it's, the whale is distracted and it's trying to go away from the area. So the people were doing that very fast. So people came from all over the world to Korea, but finally all the whale watching boat operators understood and thought it's not good for them because when they're going next day for whale watching, they cannot find a whale because last evening or last morning, some people were chasing them for underwater photography. Now they get together and stop that. Now I don't know whether illegally that's happening, but people go together and stop that.
Okay,
that's good.
That's good. That's good. So it's not responsible, you would say. I think next question is, when is the best time of year for whale watching? I think you already said that. That was, you said, end October to April.
October.
What about on the East Coast, Anama?
East Coast, actually, when on the southern coast is off season, the East Coast is good. But at that time, their sea is calm. A special thing is because when the sea is rough, for people it's not easy, not good. A lot of people start vomiting and you get seasickness. But for whales, it doesn't matter. Actually, some years, the off season is the best months to see the whales. A lot of them, but they have enough food and a lot of things they can eat at that time.
Okay, so the season is mainly based on the condition of the sea, but the whales are always there.
Yeah. But if they stay a couple of weeks or a couple of months, if you don't have enough food, they just go away from the area.
Okay. I have another question. Is the boat you use exclusive for jetwing guests only, and how many guests are allowed on board?
We don't have our own boat actually. So our chairman and our management decided not to have a boat our own. We are using common boat every country, but we have selected only two operators. So we have inspected them and we are going only with them. So if they have enough space, we are booking them and otherwise we don't keep going. But some of the boats not operating, they're not maintained properly because they have engine problems. They are releasing oil to the water, and the crew is not good, not trained. So the boat condition is not good. So because of that, we have selected only two operators, and now actually between 50 to 60 people can accommodate most of the boat.
Okay, thank you.
If you're going out, take the boat and also go less crowd, then you can see properly. Well, when you go out with a big crowd, 60, 70 people, 100 people, so for the sighting is not really good, and also suddenly the sea current changes. If there's a rain or wind and rough sea, you will get really uncomfortable.
Understood. Maybe then now just our last question, and then we can end with that is question saying, Anna, what's the coolest or most fun thing that you've ever seen when you've been out on one of your trips out on the boat?
not cool. I just one thing actually. One time I went out from it's the beginning of the whale watching story start. So I went out about 2008. So that day it was a really rough day, a very bad day. When we coming back, no whales, we couldn't see anything. We started from Nirista and we were heading towards Dondra. So no whales, we cannot go along because it's getting rough and very bad weather. When we were coming back, large herd of blue whales were traveling towards us. We were so scared, and we couldn't take any pictures because the picture I told you, the first boat we were on that, no cover, the open boat. We were holding everything. Actually, we were about to fall from the boat. So about 15-20 blue whales were traveling fast towards us. We managed to come to the shore, but we told the people, we told like this, nobody believed. So we couldn't. It's only in our mind. Nobody believed that much of whales were there. And we don't have the evidence to show it. Only me and the crew know.
We believe you. I think I believe you, Anoma. I believe you. Okay, so thank you so much, Anoma, again for giving us your time and taking us through this session. I hope everyone who attended did learn something new and is probably looking forward to doing an excursion with you. If you guys have any more questions, you can just send them in by email and we will try and get Anoma to answer them as well. You can also contact your executives with any other follow-up questions about these excursions, anything about Anoma or Jetwing Lighthouse, and we'll be very happy to answer y'all. So with that, thank you everybody and have a great day and the rest of your week. Goodbye.